So we were told that they're going to ask a judge to do what? To release the files and let the people see the files, right? Is that what they promised us, Tom?
Yep, called unsealing testimony.
Perfect. And then what happens when we're told that? Judge denies request to unseal Epstein grand jury transcripts in Florida. So why would he do that? Why would this judge do that? Okay. Federal judge in Florida, Judge Robin Rosenberg, denied the Trump administration's request on Wednesday to unseal grand jury transcripts. Rob, it says you have a video here from 2005 to 2007 investigation into the Epstein, citing the Justice Department's concession that laws on criminal procedure generally forbid unsealing grand jury testimony except in narrow circumstances, stating in her 12-page order, the court's hands are tied, and Justice Department requests driven by special circumstances and historical interest by the public aim to bolster claims that it had left no stone unturned, and noting since July 6, 2025, there has been extensive public interest on the basis for the memorandum conclusions. The decision frustrates the administration's efforts to address the pressure from the right-wing supporters demanding more Epstein-related disclosures. Is this the clip, Rob, about...
Yes, this is Caroline Levitt was asked if the Trump administration is going to appeal the judge's ruling.
Go for it.
Florida federal judge has refused to allow the Epstein grand jury materials to be released. Does the president want the administration or Department of Justice to appeal that ruling?
That was just breaking as the director and I were coming out here, so I haven't had a chance to talk to the president about it. I understand there are 2 other requests from the Department of Justice that are ongoing, but I'll let this president speak to whether he wants to see an appeal in the Department of Justice. I'm sure can give you a statement on that as well.
And is he supportive of the effort to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell? I know that Todd Blanchard mentioned that earlier this week.
The president spoke to this yesterday, and he said he thinks it's an appropriate idea.
You know, obviously the developments with the Epstein case with the judge, but I wonder, has the White House counsel, the DOJ explored any other documents that could be released to the public that don't have to do with that grand jury testimony?
To my knowledge, the Department of Justice has moved forward with the request to unseal that grand jury testimony, and as you know, they have also moved forward with interviewing Ms. Maxwell, which I believe will be taking place very soon.
I feel bad for Caroline Levitt because she has no clue what's going on, meaning she has to get out there and sort of put on the charade as if she's involved. She has to sort of...
Well, I'm pretty sure she's
vocalize
she's
with the
brief.
Let's stay on the topic here.
Okay.
So instead of you being concerned for her, she's
We all
married,
are.
bro. So,
We all
all
are.
right, Roy Black, legendary defense attorney for Epstein, Justin Bieber, and Kennedy family, dies at 80. So Epstein's former lawyer just died. Obviously, he's 80 years old, but the story that comes out. At the same time, you know, you hear some other stories releasing. That Bill Clinton wrote a letter also to Epstein for his 50th Daily Mail drops. Warm and gushing letter to Epstein as Trump sues over claim. He also wrote a body note of pedophile half-century. This is Daily Mail story. And then on top of that, while this is going on, House panel votes to subpoena Bill and Hillary Clinton over possible links to Ghislaine Maxwell. All of these stories with Epstein are coming out. A lot of people are quiet about it. And then a BBC story drops. I don't know if you saw this BBC story that just dropped. White House pushes back after reports that Trump is named in the Epstein files. Did you see this one, Vinny?
I did not.
So this is from BBC. White House, through spokesman Stephen Chung, dismissed reports that President Trump was informed in May by Attorney General Pam Bondi that the names appeared in the documents as fake news story, with Chung stating nothing more than a constitution of the fake news story concocted by the Democrats and the liberal media, just like the Obama-Russiagate scandal with President Trump was right about. The Wall Street Journal reported Bondi told Trump during a routine briefing that the files contained hearsay about many people, including Trump, but being named is not evidence of wrongdoing. FBI Director Kash Patel, the criminal leakers and fake news media tries tirelessly to undermine President Trump with smears and lies, but the story is no different. Vinny, your thoughts with this story on what's going on here?
The more and more they're trying to like distract us and put us over here and look over here. Listen, I hate to even say it, but maybe, just maybe, Elon Musk was right. Maybe Elon was right. What was it in June? He tweeted out of nowhere, Trump doesn't want it released because Trump is on that list or whatever. By the way, and again, this doesn't mean he did anything. He admitted, yeah, I knew him. Yeah, whatever. There's footage of him. There's footage of you hanging out with him, with Melania, with whatever person he was with. That's okay. Back then, everybody was hanging out. Everybody was chilling. You just don't want your name involved. This is the worst. You nailed it. The worst fumble. Just say, yes, I was around him. We were in Manhattan. We were all rich. We're all doing it. I didn't know what the hell to the extent of what he was doing. And once, he got convicted for pedophilia, that's when I broke everything off. Just because your name is in there doesn't mean you're guilty. Okay? And I think that's what they're trying to freaking cover up. Because, and Pat, not to go backwards if you don't mind, the Barack thing, the Barack Obama, I think it's a distraction. But at the same token, why is everybody pissed off? Everybody in the View and everybody's mad. Oh, how dare you go after the next president? He's not untouchable. Look at the precedent they set with Trump, with everything that they did with Trump, Pat, from trying to arrest him for 100 years, from Mar-a-Lago, this and all that shit. They shot him in the freaking head, and that no ex-president is untouchable. Okay, I can show you the mugshot of Donald Trump, okay? And then think about this. He tried to, Obama and them, if it's all factual, they tried to overthrow the government. We picked who we picked. We picked Trump. And they tried to undermine him. He used the FBI. He used the CIA, Pat. You know what they should have? Have a public trial. I don't give this Epstein stuff. Okay. Have a public trial. Okay. And if he's guilty, put Obama's ass in jail for the rest of his freaking life, okay? Because people need to know, Pat, if this happens again and somebody comes in, they could look back and go, oh shit, let's not do it because Obama's in jail for this shit. And then we wonder why the trust for the government is at an all-time low, okay? It's at the worst it could possibly be. You want to gain it back? Then hold these people accountable. Put them on trial, and if they're guilty, put their ass in jail. The Epstein thing, I think, is the biggest freaking fumble, period. Remember, Adam, when we first started talking about this, 2 weeks ago? It's like, yeah, only losers, only whatever. Look where we are. It's the top of the news every single day. It's about this because it seems to me that they're covering it up. Something isn't right. And I keep going back to the children. We always worry about the people involved. It's the kids. And did you see this, Pat, Tom?
What's this?
Did you guys see this? This is a deposition where he's asked if Epstein had a personal relationship with Trump, and they say something about underage 18-year-old girls, and you tell me how you take away from this clip. Go ahead, Rob.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with him?
Okay, so now, have you ever been around him with under 18? He grins, he smiles, and he goes, I wish I could, but I can't under the 5th Amendment. Like if this is a video, let's just say that Trump is worried about coming out. I mean, it's going to come out. That could just mean, I wish I could just say, no, he had nothing to do with anything, but my lawyer has directed me, Tom, everything has to be pled the 5th.
So I'll tell you,
Go ahead.
Epstein is a scumbag.
100%.
We have all the things, and he got a sweetheart deal in Florida. But let's set that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There were 22 victims. There was, several charges, and then it got reduced, and he was given a minor charge of solicitation. That really happened. Epstein was a scumbag. Everybody agrees. But when you look at this, Vinny, I'm not defending him. I'm pointing out is how these processes work.
Yeah.
The reason he says no is if I say, no, I never did, they then in court find one picture of you and a girl that's under 18 that could be somebody else's daughter that was at the same party, and therefore you were socializing with Donald Trump with a girl under 18.
Yeah.
So you end up, whenever you're getting these narrow questions with a grand jury or a voluntary federal deposition, and I think this was the latter, people always take the 5th through it. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, Your Honor, given that, I'd like to enter this into evidence and to bring this into court. So then the district attorney says, well, he denied all this. You're saying all this is true. You've got all these pieces of evidence. Okay, I guess we're going to court here. That's how this thing works. So this doesn't presume guilt on either side.
that's what I was trying to
This
say.
is how the process works. If you were deposed, Vinny, on something like this, your lawyer would be telling you, Vinny, just take the fifth, take the fifth, take the fifth.
On everything.
Make them go into court and produce the witness that you bought the keg with your credit card to a party and you had underage cousins and people that were there and somebody got drunk and got hurt. They would tell you the same thing. That's the process. I am not saying that Jeffrey Epstein is not a raging scumbag, or was, the late.
Yeah.
Adam.
So Russia, Epstein. Russia is Epstein. Epstein is Russia, in my opinion.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. That's what's going on here.
Got you.
Because there's a lot of similarities here. I'm not sure if you intentionally put these stories together, because I actually think there's a lot of synergy in what's happening here. Do you remember in 2016 what was happening? They're having these meetings. Russia, it's Russiagate. Stand by on the next episode of Russiagate. We were all glued to our TV, and admittedly, I fell for it. I'm like, this guy is a Putin puppet. The media said it. It must be true. Turns out the media will lie. We all
Tonight,
understand
the
that.
Steele dossier, this
Exactly.
reporter has seen.
So Trump was out there. It's fake news. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. Everyone's like, okay, Donald, sure, buddy. Putin puppet. Turns out Donald Trump was telling the absolute truth and nothing but the truth. But the media ran with it. Russia did try to interfere in the election. True. Trump campaign conspired with Russia. False. Paul Manafort. Remember we had Paul Manafort on the podcast? This was in the height of Adam's lunacy. I was like, this piece of shit, Paul Manafort. I'm going to expose. He came on here. I was like, what a guy. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Lobbyist. And that was sort of the snowball effect. I was like, you know what? Maybe the media lied to me about this Russia thing.
They did more than lie. Leslie Stahl had air cover from the White House. Well, she said, Donald, this is 60 Minutes.
Okay, Leslie Stahl. Yeah. She's the
As
one
if
who was,
she was speaking like a judge on
as
the
if she
federal
has the higher
district
ground
court.
here.
Right, yeah.
We know that the FBI had their own sort of agenda and they were seriously flawed. We know that the media got this story and completely ran with it, divided the country. Robert Mueller, he didn't say one freaking word. There's a lot of correlation what's going on with Epstein with Russia. We don't know what's true. We don't know what's false. We know that Donald Trump did hang out with Epstein. Isn't even a question.
I see the videos. Yeah.
There's pictures of them hanging out.
Yeah.
Just because you've hung out with somebody and you were named in some sort of lawsuit.
Yeah.
Buddy, I've hung out with Andrew Tate dozens of times. That doesn't mean I was sex trafficking women. That doesn't even mean that he was sex trafficking women. So we don't know what's true, what's false, what's media, what's a plant. This is why when our friend Sean Hannity came on, he said, listen, I'm just going to kind of sit back, relax, wait for the facts to play out. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't get embroiled in every single media story.
But Adam, don't you, and I'm being truth, but you're my brother. I love you to death. I want to know.
I hate you.
Don't you want accountability? Meaning,
course,
Adam.
Vinny, we all do.
No,
Yes.
Adam, I disagree. Not a lot of these people, no, they don't. Because Barack was this savior, the yes, we can, the BS artist, okay?
Hope.
What they did, people want to talk about January 6th. To hell with January 6th. These people were like, he won. Let's create this fake story. So Hillary, go pay for this fake dossier and push it through the Department of Justice and what? To overthrow the government. To defy the will of the people, Adam. So when I say accountability, and I get what Sean Hannity was saying, it's going to take some time. Be patient. We've been patient from before JFK. Go to those people. You know what they told those people too? Be patient. Cut to 2025, Adam. Cut to 2025. They're still like, here are 10 more documents that don't say shit.
We're still waiting.
And
We're
again,
still waiting
it's
on JFK.
Adam. And I'll start with the Russia thing. How much shit did me, Adam, dude, my career, my friend, I've lost friends because they're like, you're with the Russia asset, Putin, blah, 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 blah. So zero accountability for that. And when it comes to Epstein, not one famous, high-ranking pedophile scumbag is going to be dragged in front of the courts so we could see them. I want to see them. Why the hell was he going to the White House 17 times to see Bill Clinton? Explain that to me. What are they talking about? And when you walk into his house...
Let me ask you, what do you think they were talking about?
Adam, he flew to his... he was on the air...
But go there for a second. The Epstein-Clinton thing.
Okay,
what do you think actually happened
personally,
there?
probably some money moving stuff, probably some big, because by the way, if you saw the interview with Daryl Cooper with Tucker, say what you want about Epstein. He was very good at being a piece of you-know-what. Moving money, offshore accounts, probably some money stuff with the Clinton Foundation, which I think he was attached. And then Adam, maybe some girl
that's
stuff.
what money managers do.
But you ready for this? Adam, I believe Vincent O'Shannessy believes that it was some, hey, listen, when you come to the island this time, I got you. I know how you like them and blah, blah. When you walk into his apartment in Manhattan, why is there a picture of him in a blue dress pointing right when you walk in?
Do you think
that means I got you?
Is there any
homie.
evidence that Jeffrey Epstein donated to the Clinton campaign?
Is there? I think there's a connection with him, with either Lex Wexner and him, whatever it is.
Well, I'm just saying that a lot of times these big donors, what do they call them, mega donors, get preferential treatment.
Rob, if you could just look up what's the connection, what's Epstein's connection to Bill Clinton and the foundation?
Tom, what do you call it?
They're
because at the end of the
large bundlers. They call them bundlers.
And bundlers are what exactly?
Bundlers are people that know a lot of people who know a lot of people. So I work with 5 high-end people that each of them is taking money from, say, 10 millionaires. And so now that's 50 people represented by those 10 and then represented by me. So you create a paper trail that is hard to follow. And then all that money goes into a PAC very legally, but then nobody knows who got the money into the PAC. But now the PAC goes to do the will of the DNC. That is one of the flaws in the campaign finance, which is what people ask for campaign finance reform, eliminated the bundle.
Rob ChatGPT, Pat, about his, what was the question that you put in?
The question was, what are Jeffrey Epstein's connections to the Clinton Foundation? And here's what it gave.
Several points of connection from the Clinton
financed his
funding.
travel.
Go to number 2, Robbie. He helped conceive the Clinton Global Initiative, gave donations. So he besides what they were talking about him, and I'm not one of those.
So maybe, let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
We talk about signal and noise. Maybe the cornerstone of their relationship, we're talking about Clinton and Epstein for a second, maybe the cornerstone of the relationship was genuinely
money,
political, and financial.
Yeah, but that stuff didn't happen until
this happened
2002, and he visited the White House 17 times between 93 and 95.
That's a lot.
Hear me out. The foundation of their relationship was probably business, political money. And then there's ancillary stuff. Hey, by the way, when you come to the island, we're going to have a little party, we're going to have a little fun, and then little things like that happen. So there's the meat, right? Yeah. And then there's the steak, and then there's the sizzle.
Of course.
So the genuine steak was there was a business transactional relationship.
Yeah.
And then there's some ancillary stuff.
And you ready for
going
this
on.
though? And just off of history, Bill Clinton has been accused of sexual assault. Juanita Broderick said he attacked her in a freaking hotel room and ripped her lip off. Don't forget about his actions with Monica Lewinsky. Hold on, which was all consensual.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Adam, that's the type of guy that you want to do business with, and then bring him to your island, and then record him doing shit so you could have dirt on him. Allegedly. That's all allegedly.
Let me say one thing about Clinton. And I was a Clinton fan. I think you even voted for Clinton your first time, no?
I would have if I was
Clinton,
voting.
I think, was a great president. Meaning, as far as the numbers and the deficit and what basically where the country was in the 90s. But hear me out for a second. Everyone wants to go immediately because Bill Clinton got a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky, he's obviously a child sex trafficker. He's obviously likes underage women. I'm not there. I think Clinton, especially if you're married to Hillary, probably like to step out a little bit. Blow off a little steam. Not have to look at Hillary every single day, and maybe had some fun with extracurricular activity with ladies at Epstein Island or wherever. That doesn't mean that they were underage women, though. That's the problem I have. People are like, well, Clinton obviously likes underage women. It's like, what evidence do you have of that? There's a ton of evidence that he likes normal women, but no evidence that he likes underage women. And that's where things get so caught up in the gray area. It's like, where do we just go from
Virginia Giuffre was
underage to underage women?
Guys, we could go back and forth on this. The question is, and it's an honest question all America is asking. You said, okay, well, why don't we just have them unseal the records? And then suddenly a judge, a district judge, and I think there's 94, I believe it's 94 districts in the United States, and 13 circuit courts, also known as Court of Appeals. And the circuit courts, the 13 circuit courts, have the balls. They have the clout. And so you take one of these district judges from the Southern District of Florida, I think it is, District 2, and saying, I'm not going to unseal that. It's, wait a minute, this was coming from the federal government, coming from cabinet, saying, let's unseal it. And then a district judge says, no, we're going to leave it sealed.
Is this who didn't do it?
Yes, sir.
This is her.
She was appointed by Obama.
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah, but
Go a
Pat,
little bit lower.
But you see my point, Pat? This is a mid-level federal judge, and the Circuit Court of Appeals is above that. So it's like, wait a minute. Why do you have now district judge are real judges, but she's not like a Supreme Court justice?
You see
It's
what
like,
it says on the bottom, Pat? She declined to release additional grand jury
I know,
documents.
we just read that earlier.
Okay.
That's what we were reading.
and by the way, she's married to
So-
Florida State Attorney for Palm Beach County, Michael McAuliffe. Was he part of the Palm Beach County group
Tom, we read that earlier, bro.
that sent everything up?
Rob, can you click on who Michael McAuliffe is?
Yes, sir.
Go to that one. Adam, stay with us.
I'm right here with you, Pat.
Is he connected to the Palm Beach crew that sent
what's his
all the
background?
Epstein case
do
up to
this.
the
Can
federal?
you type that in ChatGPT, see who he is?
Where you at with all this, Pat?
Hang on. Let me just kind of go through this background with Michael. So this just totally...
It's so weird.
Presumed prosecutor for 30 years. Southern District, Florida attorney handling high-profile criminal honors in terms of citizenship.
Was he on any of the Epstein cases, Rob?
Prosecuted the Louisiana KKK Grand Dragon for hate crimes. Staged in the Palm Beach 2018. Led 125 prosecutions. Can you put in, is there any link between him and Epstein? Any link between him and Epstein? Any link between him?
They were
and
college
Epstein?
roommates.
Let's see what comes up.
He was the state prosecutor for Palm Beach County in 2008 when Epstein was.
So he was the prosecutor.
There's no documented personal and the only mention of McAuliffe is Epstein-related material appears in 2010 reference. Epstein's lawyer, Jack Goldberger, reportedly asked McAuliffe, then a state attorney, to drop certain charges, but this request doesn't indicate any deeper relationship or involvement. Moreover, there's no indication that McAuliffe ever assisted Epstein. Can you ask the same question on...
Wow.
Why were they asking him? So why was
Ask the
Epstein's lawyer
same-
asking
I
him?
know.
Because he was on the team.
Hang on 1 second. Ask Grog the same exact question. Is there any connection between McAuliffe and Epstein?
Rob, you're so fast, Rob.
Zoom in a little bit for us 40-year-olds.
47. I'm 47.
39.
Let's see what it says. Jefferson with the notorious financier. No, I'm trying to find out.
Yeah. Come on, Grog.
What is
Wow.
all this Hitler answer? Come on,
Come
Grog.
on, Grog.
Is it really taking this long, Rob?
Yeah, Grok, Super Grok takes a little bit longer for some
there it
reason.
is.
There it is.
Yes, there is a
Grog.
professional connection between them. Palm Beach, stemming from McAuliffe oversight of Epstein case in the year of 2008 plea deal. However, there's no publicly available evidence, friendship, financial ties on this. So Jeffrey Epstein, financier, convicted. Okay, Michael McAuliffe, go a little bit lower up, succeeding. McAuliffe had previously overstated McAuliffe involvement after the Epstein plea deal during Epstein's probation and house arrest period, which later lasted till 2010. Key events included Epstein's attorney, Jack Goldberg, requested that we already read that probation and release him from house arrest early. That request was denied. An email from Assistant Attorney Barbara Burns to McAuliffe described the situation as this dragon just keeps raising its ugly head and emphasized that Epstein was a registered sex offender that was fortunate to get a deal of the century. Burns further noted that Epstein's team was pushing for leniency, but the office stood against it. McAuliffe's office was responsible for enforcing the terms of Epstein's supervision release, including decisions on his travel and work privileges. While McAuliffe did not negotiate the original 2008 deal, he inherited and managed its aftermath, the professional link that draws. Okay, so then he's married, particularly due to McAuliffe's marriage to Judge Rosenberg. In July, Rosenberg requested a grand jury transcript 2004, citing issues social media in some reports alleged conflict, pointing that McAuliffe's prior role in the case and suggesting this is very interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
It could influence decisions to keep records sealed.
Okay.
Weird.
So then if that's the case, so go back to that lady's Wikipedia, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You just had it a minute ago. Yeah, if you can go to hers. Huh. So she's appointed by Obama, okay? She assumed office in 2014, which is the last 2 years of Obama. Mm-hmm. She's a Duke University person.
J.D. Duke, undergrad, Princeton.
Yeah. So if you're appointed by Obama and you don't want to release it, you're definitely not releasing it because you're trying to protect Trump. So why wouldn't you release it? And the conflict of interest with your husband, prior links to it, very interesting. This is very interesting to me on why that's happening.
And it all leads back to it's all Florida. It all goes back to Florida, where this guy got a pedophile.
No,
got
Florida
a sweetheart
didn't give
deal.
him the sweetheart
Well,
deal. When it was sent to I believe, the Southern District of New York, the Southern District allegedly was told, hey, this guy belongs to intelligence, and they reduced it to one charge of solicitation.
But it all stems from Florida, correct?
Well,
This
Florida
all
did
happened-
Florida
New
did
York.
the work, and then the federal government says, hey, let me take care of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when the FBI walks in on a local crime and says, hey, we'll take this over
Yeah,
now.
it's ours.
And
It's
the
our-
local sheriff says, we're perfectly capable of investigating
let-
Who
this.
said that he was an intelligence asset?
Alex Acosta.
Did they say FBI? Because I think
No.
Lord Loomer mentioned FBI.
He's no.
in
He,
the
they
interview,
they
right?
said he belonged to intelligence, and I was told not to touch him, to leave him alone.
But I think they specifically said FBI. Did they not? Didn't
No.
Lord Loomer make that?
No.
Alex
Alex Acosta said he
Acosta
belonged.
is the one that said it.
Yeah, and then when he was questioned, he goes, "I never said it." It's like, come on, bro.
Well, he said he did remember saying it, but he didn't know who told him
To
that
say-
Jeffrey
oh,
Epstein
yeah,
was.
it was a
Oh, the old
intelligent.
telephone.
It was a
game.
guy in a shadow with a hat in the dark.
Listen, let's move on. Obviously, again, two things. You know, the more and more they keep coming back to these types of things, believe it or not, the more they're making it worse because they're not making it go away. So either say we're done with this, we're not coming back, or two, if you're claiming that you want this stuff to be leaked, do it ASAP and address it. But it keeps, like every week, how many weeks we've been going through Epstein?
Almost
This
3.
one? Every week we want to go through different stories, the stink reapers. Well, they said they're going to release and the judge said no. Well, they said there's no. Versus like, hey, do something, make a decision, or, you know, just say you don't want this thing to be leaked. But one of the two decisions
we aren't
need to be
keeping it
made.
open, Pat. We're reacting
for sure,
to the
yeah.
news waves.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Our
what, it's the
listeners want
best
this.
show on TV right now.
I mean,
the
And,
Epstein files.
and now Epstein's lawyer is
renewing
dead.
for season 20.
Vinny, Epstein's lawyer died. You
Yeah.
know how he died?
Huh.
He drowned paddleboarding with Hillary Clinton after committing suicide by hanging on a palm tree at that same beach after he was shot.
oh,
He was
That's a
also
joke,
80-something
folks. It's a
years old.
joke,
and
everybody.
sick.
Tom's telling a
He was
joke.
also 80 years old.
It's
and
not
sick.
even allegedly.
it's a
It's a joke. Okay, I bought Tom dad jokes, 3 of them on his birthday, and
dad
this
joke
was
book.
not in the book.
Yeah, no,
This is- that was an original for Tom.
Great gift, bad decision.
Yeah, great gift, bad decision. You know what's back? You know a fun fact about Tom Ellsworth that you all need to know about? Tom, how many Yetis do you have in your kitchen?
I believe I have about 30 of these ladies.
Tom has 30 Yetis. Question is, how many Yetis do you have in your kitchen, right? How competitive are you?
Can you keep up?
Can you keep up? So guess what? The Yetis are back. Rob, if you want to put it up and play the video. We have the pink ones for the ladies. Fellas, go buy your wife the pink or the white one. Press play, Rob, and you can lower the audio a little bit. But you got the white ones. The future looks bright with the Valuetainment logo. You got the blue, fellas, black. Future looks bright. Takes it to your office. You got the small ones, the big ones. All of them. So if you're somebody that drinks a lot of coffee, or you drink a lot of tea, or you drink a lot of protein, whatever it may be, or you're Adam, you are somebody that's constantly, what does Adam do with his bottle of water? He's always with his
Blowing
voice.
it.
He does the bubble
He
thing.
does the bubble
Yeah.
thing for his voice.
That's why I got the pink Yeti.
But you know what we
Yeah.
have, ladies and gentlemen? Pay attention here. These are the taper bottoms that fit in all cars.
Yeah, I
See the
love
taper
these.
bottom? Don't have to worry about it. Regardless of car you have, it fits in a cup holder in the
Here's
front.
what I'm going to do right now.
And look at
There it
this.
is.
The pink and the white one. You know what?
Went in there.
Bigger, better.
L'chaim, PBD.
L'chaim.
And
Yeah.
Pat, you know the pink and the white one?
Yeah.
Bigger, better insulated than the Stanley. Your wife will love these better than Stanley's.
Again, remember, when we do these guys, we don't do a big order, okay? We even have the one Yeti all the way at the bottom for dogs, okay? The Yeti bowl. Okay, can you imagine your dog's even going to be optimistic about the future, guys, if you get this for him? So go place your order. We want 1 million Future Looks Bright pieces all over the world. And if you support the brand, go support Future Looks Bright. Get yourself a Yeti, and while you're there, maybe pick up a hat or two for yourself as well. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.